everyone! In today's video, we'll be discussing how to draw and present body language in a manga or comic. Let's get straight into the video. So how do you present body language in a manga or comic? When drawing body language in a manga or comic, it's important to break it down into some focus points to make it easier for you to draw. These focus points are the head and facial expression. So depending on where the head might be tilted, whether the head is looking downwards or upwards, that can also convey a lot of emotion and feeling in the character. There is also the arms and hands. Wherever their arms or hands are, or whatever movement or gesture they are making, can also reveal a lot about how that character is feeling. The upper body and torso. So if the character is leaning towards someone or leaning away, depending on where they are moving their torso, it can also reveal more information about them. And also the legs and feet. Depending on the way they are standing or the way their feet may be crossed, can also reveal information. Dividing it into these main points can make the process much easier. I recommend that when you're drawing body language, focus on these main points and take a look at your image and see how your character is responding to various situations. For these next examples, I'll be showing examples of artwork from my upcoming manga Having Faith. So first of all, let's look at how you can show body language through the head pose. Keep in mind that these are just examples and you don't always have to draw it this way. When the head is tilted upwards, it may show that the character is feeling confident or bold. When the head is tilted more downwards or looking down at the character's feet, it can show that the character is worried, nervous, or timid. It may also indicate that they are thinking in depth about something. So consider how you can show your character's body language through their head pose. Whether your character is looking down or looking up, whether they are looking to the side or in other ways, depending on where their head is positioned, it can reveal more information about how that character is feeling in the moment. Next, let's look at how you can show body language through expression. The character at the top is worried about something. Her eyebrows are slightly scrunched together and the eyes are also slanted downwards. Her mouth is also curved down. The character at the bottom is happy. Her eyebrows are raised and also the edges of her eyes are uplifted also. Let's look at some more examples. This character is embarrassed. Her eyebrows are scrunched at the top edge and her eyes are wide. Her mouth is open in a grimace of embarrassment. This character down the bottom is angry. Her eyebrows are pushed down at a very sharp angle. Her teeth are also gritted together in anger. So consider how you can show your character's emotions through their facial expression. It's one of the easiest and fastest ways to show a character's emotions in a manga or comic. I would actually recommend practicing drawing face expressions outside of your manga. So get a big sheet of your character's expressions and try drawing lots of different examples to help you get practice with drawing unique and varied character expressions. Next, let's look at how you can show body language through the arms and hands. Depending on the positioning of the arms and hands, it can also convey body language. The first character is covering her face, which reveals that the character is scared. The second character has their hands on their hips, and this indicates that they may be feeling confident or bold. The final character is very laid back. His hand is outstretched in front of him in conversation, and he looks very relaxed and laid back. So consider how you can show your character's body language through how they are moving their arms and hands. This is a great way to show how your character may be responding through body language to various situations in your story. So next, let's look at some examples of how to show body language through the upper body and torso. The character in the first example is hunched downwards. They are kind of curled into themselves in fear. The second character is also kind of hunched downwards as well. Their upper body is sort of curved inwards, showing that they are also a bit afraid or nervous. The last example is a bit of a mixture of the head movement and also the upper body as well. The character is slightly turned away and the head is slightly turned away as well, revealing that this character is also a bit scared and nervous of the other character. I feel like showing body language through the upper body and torso is something that can get overlooked, but it's something that is extremely important as well. It can reveal how a character might be feeling in a moment, depending whether they are turned away or turned towards something. Next, let's talk about how you can show body language through the legs and feet. In the first example, the character is looking down at their feet, which can reveal that the character is nervous or worried about something. In the next example, they are stumbling back away from something. The final example shows them sort of kicking their feet. They could be nervous or they could simply be thinking about something. Depending on the way your character is standing or sitting, this can also reveal more information about your character's body language. I recommend combining this technique with other forms of body language in order to reveal more about your character's feelings. You can also use objects when showing body language. In the first example, she is looking at a teddy bear almost as if she is speaking to the teddy bear because she is nervous. In the second example, she is hiding her face behind the book and glancing towards someone. This can reveal that she might be a little bit shy to talk to them. The real key to drawing good body language in a manga or comic is to not only understand these main components, but also understand how to put it all together. So now that we've looked at some examples of body language and how to present it for different areas of the body, let's now look at how to put it all together and present that body language in your manga or comic. First of all, I recommend breaking the drawing down into shapes. To make it easier to draw the body language, start by drawing a rough sketch with basic shapes and keep working on the rough sketch until you are happy with the pose. In this particular example, you can see that the main sketch is broken down into simple shapes or simple lines, and this can be extremely helpful when I need to draw body language or different poses in my own manga. It also means that I can change the pose as much as I want until I feel happy with it. I also recommend that you understand the center of gravity and the movement line. Understand where the character's main weight is being placed in the pose, and imagine an invisible line that shows the character's motion. This can be especially helpful when drawing complex battle scenes or scenes where the character is moving around a lot. So let's look at some examples from some popular manga series. This particular example is from the manga Jujutsu Kaisen. We're going to be looking at the character in the middle in particular. See how they are balancing more on their left foot and placing the weight on their left foot, but turning away from the monster? So they've just struck the monster and then they've sort of turned their body away with the force of the motion. If we were to draw a line of motion for this, it would look something like this. The character's main weight is put on their left foot and then the character is turned slightly to the side. Let's look at another example. This next example is from the manga series Naruto. We're going to be looking at Naruto and Sasuke in the top panel with them doing this running motion. Despite the fact that their foot is at the front and about to make contact with the ground, their main weight is still on their back foot because they're sort of pushing away with the force of the movement and then running towards each other. And so these are the lines of motion in this example, with the force of their movement. So understanding where the character is placing their weight in the battle scene and also understanding where the line of motion would be can really help you with drawing the poses. It can really help to simplify that pose to make it easier to draw. I also recommend exaggerating the body language to make it more precise. A very helpful technique to look at when you're drawing body language is to exaggerate it more than you think you need. Because by exaggerating it, you make the pose more precise to the feeling you want to convey. I think a really good example of manga with really exaggerated body language is Kakegurui, because as you can see in this particular pose, every single movement or feeling the characters convey is very, very exaggerated. I don't recommend doing this all the time, of course, but doing it in some occasions in your manga, especially when you really want to convey something, can help you to make the pose more precise and more believable. Once you have drawn your body language, try turning it into a silhouette to test the body language and see if it makes sense. Our minds naturally take in the outline of an image, and so by turning it into a silhouette, you can see if the pose works and makes sense even in a solid silhouette form. If the body language and pose is still understandable even when the characters are a silhouette, then it is drawn really well. I recommend trying some of these exercises to practice drawing body language for your manga or comic. Write what you want to say in a scene and then try showing that scene without the dialogue. Use body language instead to try and express what that character is saying. Practicing this often can help you to improve with drawing body language. So even if your character isn't saying anything at all, does their body language help to convey what they are saying enough? As another exercise, try showing your character's personality through their body language. Then once you've shown this character's personality through their body language, try asking someone else if they can guess this character's personality. I think these exercises are very helpful when you are wanting to practice and improve with drawing body language. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know in the comment section down below. I had so much fun sharing these tips and tricks with you today, all about drawing body language. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day and I will see you in the next video. Bye!